Welcome, welcome. So today is the last day of Chattanooga Film Fest, and I wanted to have one last chance to review the ones I enjoyed that I wanted to give reviews to. Again, the point here is not only to focus on the good ones. I know the internet wants negativity, and I'd probably get more success out of these videos if I blasted these movies, but you know what? They're all successes in that they were all completed and they all have their audience, and hopefully they're finding their audience. I'm going to focus on the ones where I'm the audience and I'm enjoying them. So I have 3 films that I wanted to do today. 2 of them I'm going to bunch together just because of their similarities. So we'll start with those 2. The films are The Legend of Mexman and Space Happy. And the reason I bunched them together is they're both documentaries, which is obviously not enough reason to put them into like a ball. But they're also documentaries about outsider artists. These artists who are doing their own thing regardless of the system that may exist that they are either not wanting to be or not allowed to be part of. They're almost polar opposites in a way. We have Space Happy, or maybe I put it on this side, doesn't matter. We have Space Happy, and in this it's the story of Philip Michael Catt, who is a musician who has a certain level of talent, and I'm not putting down his talent. He's a musician at a local level and has this amount of talent, but he finds that he is able to succeed on the business side. He is able to help other artists. He has a production studio of some kind. He makes their music videos. He gets them onto TV, and he helps their careers. Now, there is a story of one guy who sort of gets a bit of national fame, but even the ones that, don't go big, they're able to have maybe not their sole career being a musician or an entertainer, but at least one of their careers. They use the music videos that he produces, they get local gigs, they play bars, weddings, other gigs, everything you'd expect from like a local musician. And there's a level of success there, and they owe that to this man. And you know what? He seems like a really fun guy, and there's an artistic talent there, and it's very outsider. Like, he's like a lot of good indie musicians, filmmakers, whatever, just he's making do with what he has, and it's impressive and it's fun. That's a good movie. The Legend of Mexman, it's kind of the opposite in a way. It's the story of Herman Alonso. He's a film school student, or a film school graduate, who has a dream of making this movie that he created a short film and he wants to make it into a feature film. And the movie focuses on a portion of his life where he's basically trying to create this. And he is the opposite of Philip Michael Catt in that he is very much an artist. I mean, he may also be suffering from mental illness, which I'm not here to comment on that, but there's elements of what he's doing that are hindering his ability to succeed in some ways. But he is very much an artist. He is and he has no sense of the business side. In fact, that's where that's where heads are butted together between him and the people who become his producers. And there's a whole story there around the making of not the film, because he doesn't get the ability to make the film during the movie, but he makes a promo reel for it that he would use to secure funding to create a feature film. And that is part of the story, and that is sort of the drive of the whole thing. But what really makes the movie interesting is just the focus on him. Like I say, he is a pure artist. I think in like the first shot of the movie, you come into his studio, which is a storage locker, which, I mean, I'm surprised more people don't do that, right? And he just has all of these puppets, these sculpted puppets that he's made, and it's amazing. Like, there's clearly a level of talent and vision here, and then it follows him through the rest of his story. It's really, really interesting, and they both have this drive, and it's really interesting to see them on sort of the not the scale is necessarily art versus business, though. I mean, that's certainly the story told in a way in The Legend of Mexman, but they definitely, if that was a scale, they're very towards different ends of it. There's certainly an art to what Cat does, and I mean his work, it's art as well. But and Mexman is definitely far away from the business side and more on the production, on the art side. Anyways, both of these really interesting. If you have an interest in outsider art, I recommend both of them. So the last movie that I really enjoyed and can recommend from the whole festival is a movie called American Meltdown. It's a dark comedy and it's very anti-capitalism kind of idea. It really, I don't know, I think there are a few flaws in it. Like, I'm not here to talk about what it did wrong, but I do want to point out, like, there's some structural issues, things that are introduced sort of at the wrong time that kind of stop it from being like the best movie of the festival, which is still for me the last movie ever made. But what it really does right, and it's funny because we're talking script would be structure, and so with this, because the characters are the success of the film, especially the main character. She is very, very interesting. She's the center of the film and she draws you in. Her friend Mari is pretty good, maybe not quite as good, a bit more one note. In fact, at one point we were wondering if she was like a figment of the other character's imagination, just because she felt so much like a little bit more two-dimensional, like she wasn't real. And then, you know, the two, the property manager and the police officer are both they're both jerks, but they're hilarious as well. They add a lot to the movie that way. Strong script, good direction, really good music. I again, my point here, and when I talk about direction, my point here isn't to put down other movies in the festival, but the way this movie is shot puts it like head and shoulders above a lot of what I saw. Like, there's nice, intelligent, like, understanding of the language of cinema, slow zooms, and like no handheld shots. There may have been a few handheld shots, but when there were handheld shots, they were done for a reason. Like, it was a really well-made movie that way. The score is really, like, it suits the film, and it just sort of, it does what I think film music almost always should do. It sits in the background and creates the mood and doesn't draw attention to itself. It's really, like, really well done that way. Editing, direction, all good. A little iffy on one part of the script, but in general, I really enjoyed it. And yeah, a dark comedy that had some actual laughs, and it was a good movie. So that was everything I saw from the Chat Film Fest. I'm not going to rank them, though anything that I mentioned here is definitely one that I would consider worth watching. And I was really happy with the experience. I like the Film Fest. They focus on smaller movies, obviously, and it works. It's nice to see these films get some attention, even if there's, you know, a fair number that aren't for me. They're still deserving of attention, and they are good. Anyways, well, thanks for watching. I probably put like a like, chat, and subscribe thing. So yeah, do that. That's good. Do that. That's a really good idea. That person who put those in the editing, brilliant, smart guy. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.